their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
He had some good at bats. Couldn't get much going, and then put some runs on the board as that game went on. And other than that, I mean, everywhere you look, there are positive things to say. Our guys pitched great. J-Hap did a fantastic job. Bullpen, great. Some plays in the field, JD, Polo, some others. It was just a very, very nice ball game, and a good ball game. When you stay at it like that and you're able to come back and get a nice win, it does feel good.
Polo. Is that a thing for Polanco?
So.
Polo?
Yeah. And did you hear the Andrelton Simmons one last night? Simba.
Yeah, I think that goes back even.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
The Angels.
I haven't heard that one. Simba and Polo. Polo. He's always called him Polo.
Okay,
that goes back a few years for him.
Really, I feel like
He almost never
the
says
only one that
Jorge
says
or
Polo. Okay.
I don't know if other people do, but he has said Polo for almost the whole time he's been here, and he almost never calls him Jorge Polanco. or just like
Jorge,
Polanco.
Polo,
Jorge, Polo, and Simba. Hey, gentlemen, we played that game last night in 223. That's the miracle last night.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch any of that game last night, and I thought, they must have started this game like an hour earlier than usual. What happened here? No, it's just a 2 hours old school, well-paced baseball game.
I tweeted it was in honor of Jim Kaat being in the ballpark that they finally paid homage to Jim Kaat and got it done in old school, a very 1974 223.
Yeah. So welcome into the Friday edition of Mackey and Judd here, daily Minnesota sports entertainment. And this is a Feedback Friday, boys, where we take all of your comments, listeners, the viewers of the Score North YouTube channel. We take all of your comments, questions. We filter out the ones that we would like to answer on Fridays. Sometimes it's people criticizing us. Sometimes it's people wanting to start a fight about Miguel Sano. And other times it's just lavish praise that we feel like we need to inject into our egos. So if you ever want us to discuss something on a Friday, just hit us up. You can hit us all up on Twitter, Instagram, or the Score North YouTube comment section. Can I start out too? This isn't really like Feedback Friday, but a tip of the cap to Eric Perkins, Perk at Play, announcing he's leaving KARE 11 after 25 years. I just want to say, I remember, like, this is going to make him feel old, but as a kid, and Declan probably really grew up with Perk at Play.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember him in the mid-late 90s doing all those wacky fun, like he was doing the athlete challenges, 20 years before it was cool, and carved out an awesome brand for himself. So hopefully he pops up somewhere, but that's a 25-year legendary local Minnesota media career. So a tip of the cap to Perk at Play.
In TV, that's impressive too. That's not a like we've had some very good sportscasters in this market who have lasted a long time, but in that business, you don't exactly just walk in the door and walk out 25 years after that as your own call. So yeah, good for him. That's awesome.
Yep. So I don't know. I was DMing with him a little bit last night, just saying, so what's next? Like, you got to have something, right? And I think he legitimately he doesn't know yet, and he said this in a video too, but I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere. So all right, first question or comment here this is from the Score North YouTube channel. Neil Baker. We did a lot of Timberwolves stuff this week. A lot of reckless speculation. How can they get Ben Simmons without necessarily giving up one of their big three pieces? And Neil Baker says D'Lo needs to go ASAP. D'Lo is 100% expendable. When you guys hear the negative slander from Neil Baker against D'Lo, what do you think?
Well, I think could you trade him in the right deal? Absolutely, yes. 100% expendable, needs to go. I don't know. I thought when they actually had the core of what they want for the team next season together at the end of this past year, and Cat was playing, D'Lo came back from his knee surgery or procedure and was playing, and Ant was playing. I thought there were some good signs there. So 100% expendable to me is, let me see here. I got to think hard to think here. Miguel Sano, he would be 100% expendable.
Hit a bomb yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. And he almost hit two. Wasn't it exciting against the Detroit Tigers? I was there. I couldn't believe it. Man, he's turned around. But anyway, back to D'Lo. D'Lo, I would get saying in the right deal that he can go. Okay. But 100% expendable. Yeah. I didn't like what we saw for a portion at the start of last year, but that was pre Chris Finch taking over for Ryan Saunders. And I guess I'm not nearly as down on D'Angelo Russell as this person is.
Yeah, I disagree here. Like, I've been down on D'Lo, and I was for sure down on D'Lo when Cat was out, because I think, D'Lo is being paid like one of the two leaders of this team. And when the Wolves are just getting their doors blown off by 25 points every night, when it's D'Lo and supporting cast, yeah, they're not going to be as good because Cat's out and Ant's still a rookie. This is like 2-3 months into the season. I didn't love the way that they were just getting completely run out of arenas when it was him and a supporting cast. Was it the great supporting cast that the Suns have right now? No. So there's a lot of other reasons for why they're getting blown out, but there's been times where I've been very down on him, but to say he needs to go ASAP and that he's 100% expendable, let me give you this. So, and a lot of this is thanks to Chris Finch and the position that he was putting these guys in. When Cat, D'Lo, and Ant were on the floor together last year, which wasn't a ton, but we got to see it quite a bit in the last month of the season, the Wolves were plus 5 points per 100 possessions on their opponents. So they were a winning basketball team when those three guys are on the court, and it'll only get better because there's a lot still to be gelled, and now they can finally have off-season workouts and a full training camp, not this like a rushed lead-up with a rookie who's coming in for the first time. So D'Lo is a really good offensive player. He had his best three-point shooting season last year. He can pass. He's willing to play on-ball, off-ball, and so I'm curious to see him. Now, if something presented itself and it was like, boy, you can get this guy. I mean, this isn't going to happen, but you can get Damian Lillard and you have to give up D'Lo. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. The Ben Simmons thing's interesting because I think the best possible scenario is if you can get him and keep D'Lo, Ant, and Cat. I also think there's a case to be made that it's an upgrade to go from D'Lo to Ben Simmons, but we could fight about that all day. But the words expendable and needs to go ASAP are, I think, just wrong here from our friend Neil. T-Setter chimes in here on the Score North YouTube channel. Love Judd's double standard for Wild and Wolves leadership. You're going to have to defend yourself here. Is all good. For Ian Cole and the culture setters, quote unquote, for the Wild.
Yep.
But screw someone who is important to a young superstar talent like Anthony Edwards, talking about Ricky Rubio.
Yep. Yep. This is actually a great point, and I've thought the same thing, and I'm glad the question was asked. And I'll tell you why, though.
Happy for the criticism here.
No. I've thought the same exact thing as I've said it, and I have until now on the show never fully explained myself. So I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you very much to this question. The difference is this. The Wild was a bunch of mentally weak younger players who needed someone to come in and right the ship. Plus, I contend hockey locker room culture is more important. So, but I think the most important thing is think about how weak the Wild were and think about how easily they folded and mentally they just didn't have that whole group. Let me go through it. Coyle, Granlund, let's keep going. Niederreiter. Yeah. That whole group was very mentally weak and they didn't get the leadership from the veterans that was necessary. And therefore, which Bill Guerin saw this too. And I think so did Paul Fenton. They came in and said, we've got to change this. And in fact, we have to bring in people who can lead. So that's the Wild. Here's why I feel different about the Wolves. And I might be proven wrong, but I think we'd all agree about what I'm about to say. And I think I'm right. Anthony Edwards right now is a leader. And I get that Ricky was important. And I am not denigrating that one bit, but I have the confidence in Ant that he's not mentally weak. And that if getting a year of Ricky was fantastic. That helped. But I don't think moving on from him now is going to be detrimental to who Ant is. I mean, Ant was literally, and I know people will laugh, but I think this stuff is important. He was literally coming to his Zoom press conferences and bringing a teammate to yuck it up and joke around on Zoom. That's taking control at a level a lot of people can't. They're not confident enough. So my double standard is based on this. My confidence in Ant and his ability. And by the way, the Wolves, I don't see the Wolves. I don't think Ricky turned things around for a bunch of Wolves players. Where I think Cole and Bonino set a tone for an entire roster, which is important. I think Rubio helped Ant, but I don't think it's like Cat looked at Ricky and said, "Oh, this is the way. I now see the path and the light." So my double standard is based on the individuals and how mentally strong or weak I think they are.
Yeah, I hear you. I think $17 million for essentially a glorified assistant coach and a backup guard is a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Ricky Rubio, if Ricky Rubio made if he made the mid-level exception or something, I don't know, if he made $5 million, it'd be great. Bring him in now. I don't know how well he plays, and the numbers bared this out for sure in the beginning of the season. Like him and D'Lo just didn't work together on the court, and we played that Britt Robson rant from Dane Moore's podcast. Like it just doesn't. It's not a great basketball fit, but I do buy into when you're molding a young team, you do need guys like Rubio, or in the case of the Wild, you do need guys like Cole and Bonino. Those guys are important, but there's a salary cap, and your main goal is to get the most talented players in that fit on the court. So, if it's an expiring $17 million contract, there's a lot of teams. That's the thing that, in baseball, those contracts you have to literally attach something to that contract to get rid of it. Right? If the Twins want to trade Josh Donaldson, like they're not going to get much in return. It's going to be about who eats the money. In the NBA, because you're looking to, it's not often that you'd have a bunch of cap space. When you trade for an expiring, I'm going to over-explain this because I think a lot of people are like, well, why would that be? Why would Rubio be valuable? Mm-hmm. It's not Rubio. Teams are looking to acquire a $17 million chunk of money that comes off their books and opens up room for them to sign better free agents or to trade for a player and absorb a contract without having to match salaries, right? So I think maybe his value was, hey, in Ant's rookie year, you're going to be attached to that guy and you're going to teach him a million things. And guess what? I'm sure they have each other's phone numbers now. And even if Rubio plays for another team, Ant can send him a text and say, hey, I got a question about this thing. And Rubio's a nice guy. He'll probably respond and, give Ant a little encouragement. So, yeah, I'm not paying $17 million for someone who's just there to put an arm around Anthony Edwards. And I agree with you. Ant doesn't need that type of coddling going forward.
Right. And I think Ant in year 2 is going to be, and this is a positive, a dominant personality type. I think he's going to be the guy who leads teammates. And so, yeah, I just, if this was Wiggins, if Wiggins had a rookie season like Ant did, but had his personality, I might be more hesitant to trade Ricky then, because I'd be like, how's this going to work out when the guy is not there to help him? But I don't have that concern at all with Ant. I loved off the court and from a standpoint of a guy who took charge, I loved what I saw. I thought it was great. And if Ricky helped that, awesome. But yeah, Ant's not going to fall apart now if the Wolves, trade him to Philadelphia. Ricky, that is.
This next one is a Twins question, and all of our Talkin' Twins discussions on this show have been powered throughout the year by our friends at Dennis Kirk and DennisKirk.com. I can tell you the player that we're about to talk about, we've been trying to ride him out of town. Just like a Harley or a cruiser. We're just trying to just why don't you ride off into the sunset here, okay? Well, if you're into riding season, and we are well into it here in July, Dennis Kirk's got everything you need: parts, accessories, clothing, helmets, 160,000 things that you can sift through at DennisKirk.com. If you order by 8 p.m., they ship the same day, and shipping is free for orders over $89. DennisKirk.com, when the open road calls, they ship today. So I woke up this morning and started arguing with people on Twitter about Miguel Sano again, because it's just like what I like to do.
Yep.
He hit a home run. He hit a home run yesterday, so all of a sudden, oh yeah, they all like a lot of the woodworks. Oh look,
it wasn't Cousins.
See,
at least it wasn't Kirk. You were trying to debate people on.
No, tomorrow. I have the Kirk arguments are scheduled for tomorrow. So, Big Baller Twins responding to one of my Sano critiques from a couple weeks ago on Twitter, in which I pointed out he only has 3 multi-hit games on the season, has a 268 on base percentage, and he says Sano is hitting, since this tweet that Mackey sent out, this negative propaganda, since this tweet, Sano is hitting .333 with an OPS over 1,000, and he's striking out just 21% of the time. Since the sticky stuff crackdown in baseball, breaking ball usage is getting lower. Fastball hungry Sano now seeing more fastballs than ever. The next 3 months could be big for him. So do you guys think think Sano is going to turn a corner here officially now that the sticky stuff is gone?
You have to save this entire thing and read it to Patrick Royce. He will go crazy. It will be great. He will flip because his whole thing is he can't hit a fastball. Look, the 2021 Twins have done almost everything wrong. Okay. I'll give them credit for that. I mean, they have screwed everything up. But the one thing that they've done right in the last month or so, and we talked about this more than a month ago, platooning Sano, cutting down on his at-bats, cutting down on his playing time, and basically acknowledging that his strength in life right now, as far as a baseball player goes, is as a first baseman, where he's got a pretty damn good glove. So no, this is a byproduct of him not playing as much and running into pitches at times. And look, if he does, it goes a long way. It looks very cool. But no, I mean, you're never. The thing about this is with the Sano stands, you're never going to win. But you are correct.
What do they say about the truce? Right? There's death, taxes, and blank. Right? Those are the three certainties. There's death, taxes, and then what? So death, taxes, and people wildly overreacting to a 2.5 week hot stretch by Miguel Sano. Right? Mm-hmm. We do this all the time. And I think so. The word platoon here, I don't know if it's 100% applicable because he's actually pretty even throughout his career against lefties and righties. He's not one of those big, Max Kepler, where there's some seasons where there's like a 200-point difference between his OPS lefties and righties, right? Or other hitters in Twins history. The platoon split for Sano, so to speak, is a velocity split. His OPS career-wise against high-velocity pitchers is like 100-plus points lower than sort of middle and then finesse pitchers. And I'd have to go look and see. Like, I don't know if I haven't paid close enough attention to the pitchers that they are sitting him against. But my guess is they're putting him in situations against guys that don't throw 98 with a bunch of movement because he struggles. Most guys struggle, but he struggles more than most hitters against those type of pitchers. So, I mean, here's the reality. We can sit here and we can look at a 2-week sample and overreact all we want. Over his last 1,200 plate appearances, going back 4 seasons, 4 seasons in his prime, by the way, he's been worth 3 wins above replacement. That's it. Byron Buxton has been worth 3 wins above replacement in the 40 games he's played this year, or the 30 or whatever it's been. So he's just not like he's a one when he's locked in that one dimension that he's great at. He's great at. He can hit a ball 500 feet, right? But he's a one-dimensional, streaky, non-multifaceted player. And I would even argue he's okay at first base. He's not Doug Minkiewicz, JT Snow. Like there's better defensive first baseman out there for sure than Miguel Sano.
He tried to cut that throw on Tuesday and butchered it beyond belief. But he actually, as far as a glove man, there is pretty good. I mean, I thought he'd be awful, and he's not bad. But
he's not a butcher. He's not a butcher.
Yeah, but he is a guy who has definitely lost that job. Alex Kirilloff is your first baseman in 2021 or 22, and I'm going to be surprised if Sano is on this team. I really think they're going to try and move on because he drives them crazy. The only weird thing is aside from when Cruz had the stiff neck and Sano had to DH a few times this past week, it's been a strict platoon, and he's played against southpaws, and his splits actually, the last time I checked, were worse against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. So it was sort of a weird, like, we're going to a platoon, and this guy can't hit left-handers either.
Yeah. Jake Klassen says, if you guys ever stop making videos, I'd be depressed. No pressure. Well, we'll keep making videos.
Good to know.
Thanks for watching us on the Score North YouTube channel. West B heard us talking about the Maria Taylor, Rachel Nichols thing from earlier this week. Mm-hmm. And West B 102 says, Stephen A. Smith makes $8 million a year, the most useless analyst in sports. I used to think that. All right. Yeah. I used to think that. I've never been a big Skip Bayless guy, but I used to kind of lump them both in the same category. Stephen A. Smith, if you get a chance, listen to Stephen A. Smith on the Kyle Brandt 10 Questions podcast from a couple months back, where it's like an hour of just talking about his career and his life. And dude, first of all, he works his ass off. Secondly, he's an entertainer, and he's got a persona. Watch him when they cut to him, after a finals game, and it's like Scott Van Pelt's going to go to Stephen A. Smith in the arena, and they show Stephen A. Smith on the screen. He does like the neck crack thing, like he's an athlete, right? Stepping into the arena. I don't know. I've grown to appreciate the craft of Stephen A. Smith and his hot takery. It's all entertainment.
I love him. And I don't debate for free.
I don't debate for free.
I don't debate for free.
If there is a comparison, and TV has changed. Certainly, there's a lot of ways to consume media now. But if there's a comparison, he is today's Howard Cosell. He really is. He's got the same. I mean, they had different styles, but yet they had a same dominant style of they knew how to make you mad, and that's genius because that's hard to do, to like know how to push buttons. They're good at it. Howard was great at it. Stephen A. is good at it.
Howard's way before the time of me and Declan, but he was controversial, right? And he had opinions on things, a cadence.
And I think that's why I'm so excited about hockey. Hockey fans are like, I can't. Oh God, I'm not ready for Stephen A. Smith to talk about hockey. Dude, Stephen A. Smith talking about hockey is more beneficial than Liam McHugh, Brian Boucher, anyone you want to name on the NBC. And God bless them. They're good at what they do on NBC. I'm not saying that they're incompetent or they're bad at marketing the job.
Stephen A. Smith, they're not fun though. They're not fun. Stephen A. Smith is going to help take hockey to a next level. Yeah, dude, I love it.
It's going to be great.
And
it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And it's going to be, Phil's right too. It's going to be fun. Like, that's what it should be. It should be fun. Like, people can break down the X's and O's and stuff. But what makes Stephen A. so fun is he'll say what he thinks, and he's not afraid to be wrong and then say he's right.
$8 million a year is a lot, but it's amazing. Good for Stephen A. Smith.
What's Greeny at, 6?
I think 5 or 6, something like that.
Probably something. Yeah.
And Greeny's just there to tee up former players and Mike Tannenbaum, basically. He does a good job.
Point guard.
Big Greeny fan. Friend of the show, Mike Greenberg.
Friend of the show.
We are the executive producers of Get Up, actually.
Stephen A. was a friend of the show. Stephen A. is a friend of the show.
I love how he calls all of his producers hashtag, like hashtag Bubba, hashtag Hembo. Like, he calls all of his producers on the show by a hashtag, and I love it. It's pretty hilarious.
Old man trying out social media humor on TV. So, all right, that's Feedback Friday here. If you want to hit us up, you can hit us up in a multitude of different places. The Score North comments, Score North YouTube comment section. We're all on Twitter, Instagram. Actually, Declan and I are rocking TikTok lately too. Score North TikTok channel, and the Score North app with a feedback link at the bottom. So, if you want to give us your takes, your thoughts. Oh, we are. We already I think we put a video of you on TikTok this week, didn't we?
Your old tweet yesterday, I put it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're a TikTok star now.
You're a TikTok
star. If I send you, Dex, if I send you a TikTok dance, can you post it on TikTok?
Well, I might post it all over the place just for, enjoyment. But you have to. I have to see the dance moves. Like, what are we? Are we talking electric slide? Are we just talking?
No, we're talking.
Cupid shuffle.
We're talking Judd
moves.
I don't dance by anyone's standards.
The Summit Friday night EPA Judd Zolgad special, whatever that consists of. Is that just going to the fridge and coming right back? Is that the move?
You never know. We'll have to see. It's spontaneous, Declan.
Okay.
Life is spontaneous.
Yeah. All right. Send over your best line dance, and we'll throw that up on TikTok. It'll be great.
I hate line dance.
Yeah. On the podcast only version of the show today, Rom-Com Rewind, My Best Friend's Wedding. So be sure to check that out too.